the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on this Friday morning. We're glad that you've joined us wherever and whenever it is that you're able to tune us in each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz Podcast. And again, we thank so many of you for subscribing to our channel, continue to pass the word along. A lot to dive into here on this Friday. Faith, good to see you. It felt like I just saw you like 15 minutes ago. What it feels like.
Less than 12 hours ago, that's for sure. And another long 13-hour day for us today, too.
Yeah. I looked down at 1 o'clock this morning, and everybody's like, why are you looking down at 1 o'clock? I went fishing with my son last night. He's about to move to Savannah for an internship. So we're trying to get, one last fishing trip in. And I'm like, well, my day's already started. I'm like, it's already Friday morning. So we get to not really get much sleep today. And it's going to be like a 24-hour day for me, and probably be like an 18-hour day for you because we got in late last night from the Jimmy Rain event. So that was a lot of fun. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. Some of the people that we were able to talk to one-on-one, we're able to talk to Coach Freeze a little bit privately. Obviously not going to share some of the stuff he shared with us on here, but can share some things. And we were able to be in the media room when Jimmy Rain and Coach Pearl were in there, Faith. And, it was kind of a full circle event for you because that's where you really got started last year with everything in the media world. I'll just kind of let you tell everybody about that.
Yeah, last year when I was interning at WSFA, it was my second day on the internship, and I hadn't even met Davis Baker yet. And that was my first introduction with him, was going there. And it was his first time going to this event. And we were running around scrambling. He had a live shot to do. They were running behind. I was like, is this what every single day is going to be like?
Do I get to see like 150 former players and celebrities?
Yeah. And it was so much fun. And last year at this event was the first time I ever met Hugh. And so we kind of had a full circle moment when we were talking to him and telling him, oh my gosh, this is where I met you last year, the first time. It's so crazy. And now I'm back here actually employed. And even one of the charity workers, she was saying it was her second year, but last year it was her first year. And she was like, I remember, it was my first time. So I was running around too, but I just remember talking to you being like, oh my gosh, it's my second day. This is crazy. And so it was awesome catching up with her and Phil. Again, it was a huge full circle moment of just everything that happened because I was an intern and now I'm employed, being able to go to these things. So
how fast a year goes by?
Oh my gosh. It doesn't even feel like it's been a year, but I tell you what, I think it's been like 4 years. And I think I look it too. I think I've aged 4 years since, but it was awesome. We had so much fun. We got to see Rosie and Davis again. And Jayla, who she's one of the producers over at WSFA. I actually wore her pass last year, and because she wasn't able to go, but she was able to go this year. So I got to see her, and she was able to wear her own pass.
I was going to say she got to actually represent herself, didn't she?
Yes. So we had a lot of fun.
That's great. That's a good story again. Last night's event was awesome. Glad that we were invited to be part of that and to cover that. And Coach Pearl, we'll get to the official visitors list here in just a little bit. Obviously, we've talked about that throughout the week to kind of sum up some of the ones that are going to be here this weekend. It's a star-studded. Like every weekend, you got some really big names. You and I talked to Coach Freeze last night, and he was naming some guys that, they really are placing priority on that we won't say yet here on the program. But that they feel really good about, and they're excited about some of the guys that are coming in this weekend, and that may show that they're leaning somewhere else, but they really feel good about it at Auburn. But, like Coach Free said, it's just a different world and how you deal with things. And it is about relationships. That word keeps coming up a lot this week. As we talk to players and as we talk to coaches, it's not as much about all this money stuff as people think. It does make a difference. It does have an impact. But even with Coach Pearl and what he talked about, it is relationships. It's being comfortable where you are and talking about how the parents feel about certain situations. And also, look, it's been a little refreshing over the last couple of weeks, us traveling around and talking to these kids and talking to these coaches, that they continue to bring up, hey, yeah, we've got this much money and we can do this and we could pay whatever, but we work on trying to build relationships, and they feel like it's still very important on both sides, the coaches and the players.
I think that too, but also I feel like it reflects Auburn a lot. And I think it says a lot about just the Auburn family and the people that we want here to represent our athletics, not only with the coaches, but the athletes themselves. So for me, that's the reason I came to Auburn. I came in, the creed really was the truth when I was going through Auburn, of just every single person in the community and stuff like that, working hard, because that's what you want to do. You want to do hard work. And again, the respect and relationships at Auburn, it's not some superficial money, this flashy here, whatever. That doesn't fit in at Auburn. And the coaches know it. ADs know it. Everybody knows that that's just not what you do at Auburn. And Auburn's about the truth and honoring, people. And I the more and more, the deeper and deeper we go in this, the more we see it. And the prouder I am to have graduated from there and covered this school.
I agree. I mean, I think you hear that yearly from different recruits and players that choose, and then students like both of us that just went through the school and were part of the university and graduated and moved on. And that's what our draw was, either had family ties, legacies, or just when you get to campus, if you've never been or never had a family member go through, you feel like it's a home away from home, from wherever you are. So yeah, that's part of the reason why you choose coming to Auburn, and you hear that over and over and over. Well, speaking of that,
too, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The interviews that I've been doing, the ones that were heavily recruiting, have been so grateful and have been so just on a deeper level of the relationships are the most important thing.
Absolutely.
The growth I'm going to get from the university and the coaches and the teammates I'm going to surround myself with have been the most important things. And not saying that all of them are going to go to Auburn, but I think those are the guys that were heavily recruiting. And right. I think that has been a really, really refreshing thing to hear when I'm doing these interviews.
No doubt. 100%. I think you want great players, no doubt, but you want quality individuals too. Hey, look, I was at Auburn and worked in athletics during a time where, Auburn was grabbing a bunch of guys that were people's rejects. I hate to say that. They were guys that had been in trouble in other programs, good athletes. They came to Auburn, and look, when you pile a bunch of those guys up, it affects the culture. And I saw it firsthand. And, you can't cut corners in really pretty much anything in this life before it ends up catching up with you. You might be able to put up a smoke screen for a little while, but eventually the truth is going to be told. So when you hear coaches talk about building a program, doing stuff like that, trying to do it the right way, I know we're all impatient now. We want to win yesterday, right? But that's that you have to prioritize building a program and have some standards that you want set. You can't just go grab everybody. Everybody's not a fit for your. I've had Coach Freeze tell me that in the past. He says, look, everybody's not a fit here at Auburn, but everybody's not a fit at Georgia, and everybody's not a fit at Alabama. I mean, you have to. There is part of that, and you see a lot of times guys choose a school maybe not for the right reason, and then within 9-10 months they're gone and they're off to somewhere else. I think that's why you see a lot of hopping around. We don't talk a lot about that part of the portal, but I think guys sometimes make. Let's use Walker Kessler for an example. Okay, I think this is a prime example. Walker Kessler, it was just pretty much given he was going to come to Auburn. I think Coach Pearl felt like that. The coaching staff. He makes that trip to North Carolina. Coach Pearl gets a call from him, and he's like, "Hey, Coach, I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to come to making a decision to come to North Carolina. I'm going to sign with them." And he thought he was kidding with him. He thought, okay, he's just going to go take that visit, but he ended up signing. And then Walker Kessler gets to North Carolina and obviously realized he made probably a knee-jerk reaction, and I don't know why he made a knee-jerk reaction, but he made a knee-jerk reaction to go to North Carolina. He was there for a year and ended up coming to Auburn and then having the career he ended up having. And he probably thought in the back of his mind, I should have just went ahead and went to Auburn to begin with because that's where my heart was and it's where I felt the best. But I think that's a prime example of what goes on.
Absolutely. And now you see guys going for football example. You see them going for spring after the fall season, and they don't even make it to one snap at that school before they're transferring for the next season. They do a spring there, don't even finish out spring fully, hit the transfer portal, and end up going somewhere else for the fall. Again, you're there for what, 5 months, maybe?
Yeah. You gotta in at
because do you get that money? Do you get the money that they were telling you you're going to get? And then you're just, see ya. Haven't even gotten a snap yet. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Hey, unfortunately for a lot of schools, I think that does happen because, can you really bind somebody to a contract right now? I mean, so much stuff going on with that. So we'll save that conversation for another day. I guess it can happen for coaches too, because there's odds on Bill Belichick not even coaching a play at North Carolina before he leaves. I told you, I said this months ago. I said, this is a circus. Let's watch this thing play out. I thought he would leave North Carolina because another NFL team would be calling. He's like, maybe I didn't. Maybe this was just a flash in the pan moment for me thinking I wanted to go coach college football and then end up back in the NFL. Well, no, he's probably going to end up leaving North Carolina if he leaves because of other reasons. And just such a weird situation there, but we won't dive into that. What we will dive into real quick are some of our partners here as we get started on the program. I did not forget, believe it or not. I know that surprises you because I forget a lot of stuff, but Sensagreen.
For air that's cool and clean, call on Sensagreen. They are the carrier dealers for the state of Alabama, proud supporter of Auburn athletics, and a proud supporter of the Auburn Blitz podcast. It is so hot outside now. It's just one day it can all flip over and everybody's units are going to be slowing down, breaking. Go ahead and get yourself a carrier unit, one of the most reliable units you can get, and have it installed by Sensagreen because they are going to be saving you thousands of dollars. And again, you want to keep people that are actual good people that, we use that and we actually know, Uncle T-Bone, that are going to be able to do the job and you can rely on them and they're good, actual people. So Sensagreen not only is going to save you thousands of dollars, but give you the best service that they can while doing the job.
I would buy a carrier unit after that promo that you just did. Scout Program Management, a full-service construction management firm in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in tons of huge projects. And for your next project, make sure you call on Scout Program Management to lead that. Faith and I were out at one of their projects the other day. It's massive, but knowing that Scout's in charge of that, you know that it's being done correctly. I know a project that they were involved with several years ago where a contractor did not do what they needed to do and tried to get out of the job and get off the site, and they held them accountable, made them come in and fix everything that they didn't do correctly. And that's why you pay a company like Scout Program Management. They'll make you they'll take you from the start to the finish, and they'll make you very happy at the end that you hired them. So call on Scout Program Management for all your construction needs there.
Bunkers in Auburn. Guys, I haven't had my steak sliders in a good amount of time, so I'm starting to go crazy. I'm going to have to go over to Bunkers. They've got the best food, great happy hour deals every single day, and the golf simulator bays. Those are so much fun. You can practice all your different swings, different clubs that you're going to use. If you want to be one of the Auburn golfers that they just won again. So going over to Bunkers, you don't have to wait for the cart girl to go get yourself a drink. You can walk right on over to the bar, and they're going to be able to take care of you there. And if you don't like playing golf, you can practice your quarterback skills on the golf simulator bays, because guess what? You can use 27 different sports on the golf simulator bays.
The other day when we were in there, there were some guys throwing the football, and then there was a girl hitting golf balls and with a driver, and that wasn't her first time. She was pretty good. I mean, the ball was coming off the head of the club. Pretty doggone good. Some comments again, Jonathan and PJ, War Eagle, to you guys. Hugh, man, hate that you're sick, buddy, but watching, what a trooper. Unlike the prick that keeps commenting everything negative about, like, here, you know, the funny thing is about people is that they'll say negative things, but they can't help but watch every day. Okay. So they love to point out things that they don't agree with, or something they would do different than you, and say, well, you know, why am I watching this? But then they're watching. So it's like, are they talking to themselves? But anyway, I
love that we can just live rent free.
I love it too, but you know,
it would bother you that much, but you keep watching. You're coming back for something.
Come on back for
You're coming back for something.
But we appreciate those like you who obviously are under the weather, but choose to tune in, and we appreciate the positive feedback that you give us, Hugh. And again, the disclaimer from us here on Auburn Blitz is we're not perfect, but I don't know that anybody that does this or any business is. If they are, hey, let me know. I'd love to tune.
I want them to go start their podcast.
Well, I want to go tune that in. You know, I'm all about the perfect podcast. Can we rename this one The Perfect Podcast? I bet that would stir a lot of people up. All right, so off my soapbox, on to more important things here on the program. Let's talk about Coach Pearl for just a second. We were at the Jimmy Rain event last night. And look, that was in the VIP room. We were there. We're going to post some stuff today. I did ask about Coach Pruitt first in the room, and thought Coach Pearl gave a really good answer on that, and you know how big of a part of his life Coach Pruitt's been, but how proud he is that he's following the calling to go into the ministry. And he talked about the call God thing that the players did all year. And I remember him telling me the day before yesterday at another event at Pepper Tree, he said, look, when he told the team, if we're going to do this and we're going to show this to the world, then there's other things you can't do. He said, if you're going to do this and you're going to be the banner toter for God, then you better watch what you do in your personal life and everything like that. And I just thought that resonated in how much he appreciated the genuineness of his team doing that and how important that was to their run this year.
I really loved when he said that they do the call God, and when God calls, you answer. And that's what Coach Pruitt did. He had felt a calling for a long time after Miss Tanya started the United group, and he's been going to a lot of them. I've gone to a few of them in the Southeast, and he's been at every single one of them. And one of them was during basketball season at the end of fall when I went to Ole Miss and went to that one, and he was still there. And, you know, Coach Pearl said God's been calling him to do that, and now he finally felt like it was the time that he could pick it up and step away from this. And I think he just said that really beautifully, and it was honestly just another part of being an Auburn person and being an Auburn guy, of those are the things that are important and great things that, you pick up when God calls. And so I really love that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, more ammo to talk about why we love Auburn so much and what we appreciate about them. It's not just about the competition and the teams, but okay, Tahad Pettiford, he was brought up last night. We're all talking about that. 2 days ago, had a really big performance, 23 points. Yesterday, not as good, 10 points, only 4 of 15 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. Had 3 assists, but had 6 turnovers. Look, we want what's best for him. And Coach Pearl talked about that, and he said, look, if he gets a high enough grade, he absolutely should go. He encourages, he talks about that all the time. But, there's just a small amount of teams that would be in the market for a point guard that's his size. And he said, so it's not like you got this whole, all the NBA teams are vying for him. He said, after evaluations, there's only a few that would be willing to take him, and they may not have him as their priority pick. So that's as
a 6-foot guard, just because of his height.
Right. So, that, again, it's not a cut on him. It's just reality of NBA, franchises making the decision on who they want to choose in the first round. And we all know the lottery picks, the first X number of picks are lottery picks, and then the rest of the first round. And then as you get into the second round, the money drops off significantly. But Coach Pearl talked about, you sign that first contract to get rich, and then you sign that second contract to become wealthy. And I thought that was a good explanation. So you want to make sure things are lined up perfectly for you as you go into this career. Whenever it is that you pull the trigger, you want to make sure it's the absolute right time. So, yeah, of course, selfishly, we're continuing to say, hey, we want him back at Auburn. But at the end of the day, we want what's best for him. And if it's to go on to the NBA, if he gets the best deal, then that's great. But he did take a step back yesterday. Going from 23 points, lit it up, was probably one of the top guys, and then kind of stepped back a little bit. That's the NBA, though, for you, man. That this league, it's like even in the SEC, you're playing in amongst the elite. Then you go to the NBA, and you're playing against guys trying to get to that level. Now it's the elite of the elite. And so we'll keep watching this. He has Coach Pearl said, we'll know something in the next week or two on Tahad Pettiford. And I think he has till the 28th to either stay in or get out and come back. So, yeah, it's coming down to the end regardless,
Yeah, it is. And again, we want the best for him. But if it's not in that first round, he was talking about if he does come back, as a freshman last year, Tahad wanted the guys to make a run because it was a whole veteran team and wanted to make a run, and they did. They were able to do that. But coming back, he's going to be the only guy returning, and that also means that he holds a lot of leadership as a sophomore. But a lot of older guys too that are transferring in, but not from Auburn. And I think he was saying that it's almost igniting a bigger fire in him because he is going to be the only one returning and has just not the seniors that he wants to make the run for, but now it's himself and these guys coming in that they want to turn it around, and because nobody else has been playing at Auburn, it's going to be just him, make that team grow and spark a big fire like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I think in summation, he's a massive key to this team, because you got to have a contingency plan. And that question was asked last night too. Said, okay, what is your contingency plan if he doesn't come back? And he's like, you're going to be able to go out and find somebody in the portal in this amount of time to replace Todd Pettiford. He said, well, we're not going to replace Todd, but there is not going to be a guy in the portal equal to Todd Pettiford. He said, we go out and find, somebody to take his spot, a comparable player, but you won't have somebody of that stature in the portal or somebody that might look to transfer at that point in time. So, yeah, I mean, it's just part of the deal. That's, again, another thing that coaches have to deal with when they could lose a player as talented as Todd Pettiford as late as May 28th in the whole deal. Now you're scrambling to try to add another guy. And then one other guy that he said they've got their eyes on that they don't have, that he's not ready to talk about yet, but he said they feel really good. Got to get some things solidified. Another big man addition. I was going to ask that question last night, and I think Nathan beat me to it, which was great. I was ready to ask him about adding one more guy from the portal, because that was something that you and I have talked about for weeks. Auburn really needs to add another big guy down low, and that's what Coach Pearl confirmed last night. He said, yeah, they definitely are going to add somebody else, and they feel real good about the one that they're talking to, and actually feel like they've got a commitment from right now, but just not ready to release that.
Yeah. We should be good. We're comfortable is what he said.
Right. So I trust him.
Yeah, I do too.
Mark, we appreciate you making us part of your morning routine. We really, really do appreciate that. All right. Shifting over to official visits. This is where it all starts. The first big weekend for Auburn. We did talk to Coach Freeze last night, and just a little one-on-one conversation that you and he had. I guess that would be 2-on-1, right? I don't think that would be 1-on-1 if you got 3 people in the conversation. But we did discuss how important it is to get these kids on campus, and how garnering a official visit, how much that helps you in the process. And there's some really, really, and we've been down this list probably 4 or 5 times at this point. I feel like I can recite these names in my sleep. But obviously the biggest one from in-state at the top of the list, and we kind of talked about that on Monday, was Tank Jones. It was kind of up in the air. A lot of people didn't know. We had some people asking us if it had come out yet, and we confirmed that Tank Jones was going to be coming to Auburn this weekend. And so, yeah, he was at A-Day. I think he changed his plans to come to A-Day. And, going back to last year, there were a lot of crystal balls on different recruiting sites that had him, to Auburn. But maybe people feel a little bit different about that now. I think Auburn's still in the thick of it. He's right there. So I think today and tomorrow is going to be extremely important for Auburn with him.
100%. There's a lot that is just a lot going for these kids, that the more we've kind of just been talking to some of the other recruits and stuff, that I guess you don't really think about until you're kind of in it and all that kind of stuff, that we've listened to is important to them. There's just a lot that is really about the coaches and the school itself. Obviously, that, but when these kids that are coming and visiting, that just a lot of it means a lot to them by just showing up, having a good time there, but also not promising what can't happen and what can't be real. And again, that's what I was saying earlier about, is just the truth, how Auburn is truthful. And, you'd rather hear the truth than be let down later on after being promised something. And I think that's just something great about Auburn.
How good do you feel if you're told something and then you get there to wherever place it is and you find out it was just a straight up lie? And there never was any intention to come through with I don't know what's going on.
She's just having her morning stretches.
I mean, but do you really think at the end of the day, if you do somebody that way, that they're going to stick around?
Why would you want to? Like, seriously, that's my thing, is why would you want to stay somewhere after being told something's going to happen, you're going to be given something or whatever? And
I'm not sticking around. I mean, I'm like, okay. I mean, if you're going to be lying to me out of the gate, then what kind of environment have I chosen? Where am I at? So, yeah, I think it's very important to be upfront with people right out of the gate and let them know what the real situation is. Okay, it is the season of edge rushers. I know you could probably go back and hear me say that on several other of our shows before, but Trenton Henderson from Pensacola Catholic will be in Auburn. He is a 5-star, top-ranked guy out of Florida. He's the number 5 player in the state, 6'4", 225 pounds. So you're going to have 2 premier edge rushers, which Auburn obviously places a lot of priority on. You'll have Jaquez Wilkes coming later on, who you interviewed this week. Another priority, another top edge rusher. I mean, we can just keep going down the list, but having those 2 guys, Tank and Trenton, there together this weekend, and then you add the big defensive lineman, Vodney Cleveland. That's another key in-state guy that we've talked about till people's ears have probably bled. Everybody should know who Vodney Cleveland is now if they've watched Auburn Blitz or any other Auburn podcast for that matter. 6'3", 305. Teammate Jordan Crawford's already at Auburn. Again, the number 4 player in the state of Alabama. Will be getting up to Birmingham to catch up with him at some point. Don't know when that's going to happen, but at some point. But yeah, those probably would be some of the top ones when we're looking at the lines of scrimmage, especially on the defensive side, that Auburn's placing priority on. Now, you and I have also talked about Bryce Perry Wright from Buford, Georgia, and what a factory that is. That's another top defensive tackle. These are another 5-star guys. A lot of 5-star guys here. Lots of talent. And then we also talked about the running back position because, hey, look, this is an untested, really running back room for us this year outside of Damari Alston. He's gotten the majority of the carries that are in that room right now. And then you got Jeremiah Cobb, and then you had Alvin Henderson and a new guy, and Darrell Robinson in the portal. So it's going to be key for Auburn to get a couple of really good running backs in this class. And they've got Derek Cooper from Chaminade, Madonna, Hollywood, Florida, 6'1", 205 running back there, the number 6 player in the state of Florida. And then you've got Jay Lamar. Jay Lamar from another great high school in Colquitt County, Georgia. The number 16 player in the state of Georgia, but a big kid, 6 foot. You called him a bowling ball, 6 foot, 205 pounds. So those are a couple of guys there, Auburn getting in the first of OV weekend that they're trying to place a priority on and trying to make a big impression on.
Yeah, you've got to make a big impression, especially this being one of the big first weekends of it all.
No doubt about it. As I'm getting,
you want to be able to be remembered, Auburn. I mean,
right, no doubt. And I actually having a coach text me right now about another guy. So just responding to that. But anyway, yeah, won't go through the entire list, but we'll be keeping up with the rest of these guys. We'll kind of be recapping how the visit went this weekend. We'll have Jason Caldwell on with us on Monday. He'll be in depth in all of this, so he'll give a really good perspective on how some of these visits went. I hope they all go well. That's the definite hope. And then also maybe another guest on Monday. It looks like maybe Monday could be extremely busy, just kind of all over the place right now. But since I brought it up, Orange Beach softball won another state championship last night, and we look forward to having Daigle Wilson on the podcast. That is state championship number 5 for her.
Yeah,
that is like that's almost unfathomable. So the plan is to have Daigle on. And if you're wondering why would we be having Daigle Wilson on, well, she signed with Auburn softball. She's one of the top players in the state. And you and I had a chance to watch her up close and personal a few weeks ago. And just her stats are unbelievable. We'll talk more about that on Monday, but kind of keep that in the back of your mind, everybody out there that will hopefully be having Daigle Wilson on with us. But congratulations to them and all the teams in the state that are clinching state championships in softball and baseball. So big days for them right now. A lot of good stuff going on. All right, some other partners here on the program. We couldn't do this show every day without them. One of them is Sure Shot.
Sure Shot for all your firearm apparel and hunting needs. They sell and trade new and used firearms. Scott's a great person. He's able to literally help with any single question you've got regarding any of these things, anything hunting related. So if you call on him at 256-329-0080, they are just right up from Auburn on Highway 280 in Alex City. Again, go in there, tell him the Auburn Blitz sent you. He's going to be able to help you out.
Absolutely. Love Scott. I buy all of my guns and all my hunting apparel and all my ammo from Sure Shot, and you should do the same thing because they're going to take care of you. It's that personal customer service relationship. Hospitality, as Faith called it yesterday. They do have great hospitality too. They want to welcome you in when you walk through the front door.
And Oliver Ross, if you've got a convention of 20,000 people or just a private party of 20 people, Oliver Ross is certified and licensed bartenders that are going to be able to take care of the bartending while you entertain. You don't want to get caught up in between both of them because you're probably not going to be able to do good at either one of them when you have to do both. So stick to the entertainment and let Oliver Ross do all the bartending. Again, stick to the professionals. They've got you covered.
Absolutely. I am not a professional when it comes to that at all. So not mixing up your drink for you. Let them do it. Trust me, you'll be glad that you did. All right. Kind of close out on some other notes here. Obviously, not the start Auburn baseball wanted yesterday at Ole Miss, but Hunter Elliott is Hunter Elliott. He's one of the best pitchers in the country. Auburn knew it was going to be tough, and he pretty much dominated from the start. Auburn has been really lighting it up at the plate, and for them to hold or for him to hold Auburn to 2 runs pretty much tells you how dominant he is. Only allowed 4 hits and didn't allow a single earned run in 7 innings of work. So, Cam Tilley had his he had the start last night. Again, Ole Miss was able to chop away and kind of get him out of the game. But, you turn the page on this one, and Auburn has 2 more. Again, the series can still be won. And you knew it was going to be tough to try to get a win against Hunter Elliott. And now you just got to focus on what you got to do today and try to tie this series up. But, again, we said this, Faith, Auburn came into Oxford as the number 2 team in the country. You really felt like they've clinched a regional at this point, but you would love to just get one game. You don't want to get swept going into the SEC tournament.
No, it's not worth it. That can't happen. So gonna watch tonight, see what happens. Maybe we'll watch tonight. I don't know if we're gonna have time.
I know you were I knew you were discussing. I wasn't even going to text you after I saw the final score last night. There was no need for me to do it because you were getting blown up enough as it was. So I just left that alone. I didn't want to add fuel to the fire that was already blazing there. But again, 2 games left for Auburn here in the regular season, and then next week you and I won't be able to go to the SEC tournament because we've got a ton of other things going on that we're trying to cover. But get up to Birmingham if you can. If you've never been to an SEC tournament, it's a lot of fun. And again, hopefully Auburn will do some really good things up there. Again, thought for the most part coming down the stretch here, the pitching has been really, really solid for Auburn. Sam Dutton's been the stalwart all year, really been the solid number 1 guy. And Cam Tilley's kind of worked into this the last few weeks. The first day pitcher. And then Sam Dutton, this is what they did last week against South Carolina. Sam Dutton came in and pitched that second game, so he'll go tonight. And then they'll close out on Saturday and wrap up that. So that's it really for us here this morning, unless I've missed something, Faith. Have I missed anything? I know we want to preview where we're going to be going here in just a little bit today. But before we do that, we want to hit a couple more of our partners on the program because, again, they're so great. And we want you to go out and tell them that the Auburn Blitz sent you their way. And Old Number One Customs is definitely one of those.
In and out of your house in 2 weeks. We say stick to the professionals. We're serious. If you want your kitchen renovated or bathrooms renovated, call on Old Number One Customs because they're going to be able to save you money. And also 2 weeks. Don't DIY it yourself in 2 years. Get it done in 2 weeks with the professionals.
Ain't said any better than that. And call 334-752-6162. Just don't listen to me say that number. Write it down. It's 334-752-6162. And you don't have to write this number down.
Because it's 844-JFA Blue. And guess what? You can't put a price on health. So $15.99 Home Atlas Water Filter Duo is going to make sure you've got filtered water out of every single faucet. And no amount of money is able to be in even the conversation of your health, because I can promise you your medical bills are going to be so much more than that. And so when you are made up of 75% of water in your body, you want to make sure you're drinking filtered water because, again, you don't want that nasty stuff in your bloodstream. That's gross. So call on JFA Blue Plumbing. They're going to be able to take care of you at 844-JFA Blue.
And that's your anatomy and physiology lesson today from Faith. All right. We will be on location today down around Stillwaters again. And this one will be unique for me. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Okay.
I'm excited for this one.
You are excited. That this just shows you that we don't just go to a bunch of guy joints.
No.
You know, it's not just a bunch of male driven things. I'm letting you choose some things that you want to go do. And so I'm being a trooper too.
Oh, please. Guys, we're going to go see Tess up at Lake Martin. Her hair salon. We're going to go up there.
We are excited about it, though, seriously.
I'm excited. Come on, are you kidding me? Hair day is always the best day. She's going to be giving me a few baby lights in my hair. That's why my hair is not done today. And she's
You're going to let the professional do it like we do everything, right?
Are you kidding me? I'm not going to go fry my hair off myself. Are you for real? No, thanks. So I'm going to let the professionals not do that. And Tess, she's going to be able to do that. So ladies, or men, tell your wives, tune in at noon. Actually, we're going to be on about 11:15 today on the podcast, but then on TV, Charter Cable 701, we'll be on at noon to 1, and she's going to be doing my hair. We're going to be talking. This will
be a first for Auburn Blitz, by the way, everybody. Faith will be having her hair done, or like everybody likes to say, get your hair did. You get your hair did today.
But my hair's not done today, but not that I care. But it's going to be so much fun. We're really excited. Tess is awesome. And yeah.
But we wanted to make sure we're going to have fun this summer. And I'll go ahead and technically say, with it being May 16th, it's summer. I know a lot of people say summer doesn't really officially start till Memorial Day. Nah, we're going ahead and saying it because when it goes to the type of temperatures that we have and we're about to have this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and call it at summer. And then look, it's lake season around here in this area. So everybody's excited for that. So we're going to go ahead and say we are going to have fun this summer. And that's why we are going on location. We got so many great businesses that we're partnered with. And we're excited to go see Tess today and showcase a really cool business in the Lake Martin area that she's got going. Her salon, when we stopped by there, it's so phenomenal, cute. Man, just phenomenal. So, yeah, looking forward to that. So we'll be there. So make sure you tune us in around 11:15, 11:30 here on social media. And then if you're watching out on Charter Channel 701 or Channel 80 statewide, we will be with you there as well. So, appreciate everybody that tunes us in each and every day. And then, of course, we will be covering a little bit more recruits tonight. We'll be at the Benjamin Russell spring game. So Sadarian Morgan, Caleb Spivey, BJ Bedgood, Kingston Preyer, all these guys are some of these underclassmen that you're going to be hearing about over the next several years here on this program. Going to be getting a ton of offers. I already got offers, but going to be getting even more because going to be a lot of great talent we're going to get to see tonight, and it'll be your debut on the sideline for the Wildcat Football Network, Faith, as you get ready to go into your first football season as a sideline analyst, and then capping. We'll blink and it'll be time to be back in Birmingham for the Super 7. I mean, you know that's how fast it'll go by, and you'll be dressed like you're going on a ski slope, like you did last year. We got out at Protective Life Stadium, and I was like, "Are you wearing all that inside?" And you're like, "Heck yeah, I'm not."
It was freezing, and I'm glad I did it.
It was literally. It felt like it was 10 degrees, especially when the wind was blowing. So. But anyway, congratulations to you on that, and we're glad to have you part of our network crew on that side. So we're looking forward to that. That game will be broadcast tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll actually go on probably about 5:45, kind of start talking about it. But a neat format. You'll get different points for different things, kind of like you get in an A-Day or scrimmage type game. Punts will actually count for points, interceptions, turnovers, first downs, and so there's going to be keeping up with it different ways. So we're excited for that. But all right, guys. Again, it's Friday. It's Friday around here. We get excited about that. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend out there. Go be good to people. Do good things. Make nice comments. It's just as easy to do that as it is to use your energy saying bad things or taking shots at people. So, I don't know, and I'll say this, I don't know that I'll ever take anybody seriously that has a bunch of letters and numbers on their profile handle like R2-D2 in Star Wars. Like, I don't know that I really want to take that seriously. So it is what it is. But yeah, have the
best day ever
and a big old